It is 1:30 in the morning. Just got back from this thing that I had to do, and I finally finished. Hit midnight, and then I read the epilogue. I'm not going to sleep tonight with how ticked off I am with myself that I didn't catch Bug's identity earlier. I knew something was up with the guy. I mean, obviously. For one, I thought, okay, well, this guy is the manservant to T-Hole. But he could just go off and do this other stuff. He's so competent. He has all these different powers. He swears in all these different languages. So obviously he's been around for a long time, or he's been around a lot of different people. But at that moment I thought, okay, well, this guy has been around for a long time. So I was catching that. And I went into this stinking mode where I started going from analysis Dan to just rolling through all this. Love Bug. He's been laughing and lying at me as I've been so excited about him. Man, and then in the epilogue, I just am coming off of this. He, and this is going into Memories of Ice. He went and he beat up the crippled god. How awesome is Bug? And after doing that, he's still cleaning up after T-Hole and doing the dishes and stuff. Bug is awesome. I'm so mad, though, that I didn't catch it earlier. Durr. I knew something was up with him, though, but I just should have been. See, I think I was in the mindset that, when we saw the big Hanan Mosag sends the big demon thing in the waters, for so long I thought, well, that's Male. He's been chained, and he's now this big blob thing who doesn't remember who he is. I thought he was going to be kind of like Tog and Faraday, who didn't remember who they were and were stuck in their other form. I thought he was going to be more like that. So I wasn't thinking that maybe he could be around still. Dang it. Dang it. I have some notes from the last few chapters. I was just kind of typing away a little bit. The Errant is still around. This Turtle Brizad. I'm not going to go through all these notes. Okay, the different times that Roulette has died. First time was getting the sword with the Jack, and I totally called it. I called it with Roulette early on that he was going to get his butt kicked a bunch in this. I didn't know that was going to happen, though. He died to that. He died to iron bars, which was amazing. He died getting killed by a fork roll of sail. He died to Morak. He died to the shadowy demon thing that after Bryce had just kind of incapacitated him. And I also mentioned that. I mentioned that he should be put under a rock or something instead of killed anymore. And that's what was going to happen. That's what the seed had told Bryce to do. So I called that, at least. I mean, I don't think that's super special to call that, but and then the stupid idiot dude kills the stupid idiot brother. And then when that happens, Troll goes and takes off Hanan Mosag from the throne, and now Roulette is there. and Fear has pieced out. So now, who do we have? We have. Uh, I mentioned that I wasn't a huge fan of Saren for the first half of the book. I'm all for Saren right now. So Saren is there. Fear is with her. And I'm so glad that Fear is not, he's going to go try to find Scavendari Bloodeye, as far as I can tell, to kind of bring him back to fix all this. So I'm glad that he sees what is wrong in Rulad, the same as Troll does, but kind of different sides of, maybe different opinions of what to do about it. But I got the hiccups. So excited about that because I really like Fear. I really was starting to like Fear a lot, and I really do like him still. So it's him, and Kettle will be there, and Ruin is going to be there, and Shirk, right? Anyway, that whole group. I hope we get them soon. I'm sure it'll be like in 3 more books. Maybe it'll be in the next book. I don't know. I'm so upset that we don't get to. I thought we were going to get to the part where Troll was going to be left there and bound, and I thought it was going to get to where he's at the end of House of Chains, being with Onrak. I suppose maybe there just wasn't time for that, but I thought we were leading right to that. That's what was driving me forward through this book more than anything. So upset about that, even though I loved this one. I want to go back and see all these clues about Bug. Snores like an ocean or whatever, like the waves. Mentioned one guy on the Discord mentioned a few different instances that were kind of hints towards his identity. Dang it. I wish I would have caught that. I'm going to be more careful. I think I'm already being quite careful, but sometimes when I'm being so careful, I start to get a little bit too in the weeds, and I start to guess things that I shouldn't be guessing, or, guessing things that are way off and forgetting the things that I already know. But I still like doing that. Man, the Sita. I'm so upset about the Sita dying. Dang it. He had some amazing magic, making the ivory pillars even melting away. And then Troll in the shadow throws that spear he didn't want to. And, man, that whole ending with Bryce and Rulad was incredible. Troll dealt with this challenger, this Edur challenger, like no problem. I loved where the Sita and Bug were kind of working together, and this Jagged Huntress to kind of trap this demon thing in the ice, which I assume now it's trapped there. Man, Unidus. Oh, yeah. So Unidus is with this other group. And I'm still a little confused about Unidus's path. When I reread this, I'm going to be paying more attention to him, more attention to Bug, obviously. Yeah, I just had some different expectations of what this book was going to be. I thought I was knowing where it was going. As soon as Rulad got that sword, though, and from the prologue or whatever it was there, it talks about the spear that if you hold it, you kind of die over and over. So I thought, oh, okay. So Rulad died, and then I caught on that he was going to be the one with this sword that Withel made. So I thought, okay, well, this is going to a point where he's going to become the new leader or whatever. So I kind of knew where that was going, at least. So I'll give myself some credit there. Cool things in the end. Iron bars, fighting off these 5 Toblakai, and Ublala going in and bear hugging the third one, and then Ruin showing up. I also guessed, and I'm glad that I guessed this. I guessed that Ruin was the one that Kettle was speaking with. Um, so I'll give myself half points for that, for guessing that. And then Sheltantha being the one holding on to Ruin or something. Like, if you're going to go out, I'm coming with you. I'm still a little fuzzy on some of those details. But, man, this thing with Bug on page 869, where it's like, hey, if you're nice to a Jagged, they'll be nice to you. Good things come. Something that the Talani mass never quite understood. I loved that part. There are moments, if I would have gone to all the moments in Memories of Ice, or no, not Memories, to Midnight Tides, and really stuck with all these amazing little paragraphs and lines, we'd be stuck here all year. Holy smokes. Just amazing. Now, I don't know. These last three that I've read, I don't know how I would rank these three. I don't know. But I loved the ending of Midnight Tides, and I loved the ending of House of Chains. I loved the journey of Memories of Ice, maybe the most out of all of them. But I don't know how I would even rank these, because I had to put my highlighter down and my pen down, and I was just loving the ride for Memories of Ice. Now, other things, we have Mayan has stabbed herself, so she's gone. I was so upset when Bryce is gone, but it sounds like it's probably not going to be the end for him now that he's taken down into this area. Um, they're all looking for Udinus. Hopefully he's going to be okay. I thought he was going to be sticking around with Rulad, but all this weird stuff happened. When T-Hole's getting his butt kicked from all these Edur, and then the other, kind of like the other servant, or the guy that was with him, Chalice or whatever, goes on top of T-Hole and gets his head stomped. And then when Bug shows up and does his super scream, just like explodes everyone. Such a scream that it mentions that he will be heard throughout the world. I thought, okay, Bug is definitely someone. And then when he grabbed him down and brought him to the bottom of the ocean, I thought, aha, that is the probably the E-doer from Memories of Ice that Quickman and Perrin and them find. And I thought, oh, Bug has a warren at the bottom of the ocean. So either, and I still, for some reason, I still didn't catch on that he was male. I just thought he's kind of partnered with male or a worshiper of male. Stupid me for not making that connection. But very cool. Male Bug is like top 5 character for me. Might even be my favorite character now. But I still love Troll. Even through this. This didn't change it. Let's see what else I wrote here. Man, you don't mess with the Sita, though. Okay. Ruin shows up. The king and the withered prince and the withered queen. And the queen kind of has this smile on her face. and they have the wine. As soon as they drank the wine, I thought something bad's going to happen. That thing is probably poisoned with some kind of terrible sorcery or just poison. I can't believe that Bryce drank it as well. Of course. But I loved that part with Bryce challenging Roulade, and then Roulade's just there, and everyone's kind of having this little moment like, what should we do? This is this perfect solution. I mentioned the rock that should go on Roulade's chest. That would have worked too if they had one of those magic rocks. But this works until stupid idiot comes and stabs him, putting him out of his misery, which, jeez, so cool. So cool. And Hanan Mosag, it looked like at the very end, was going to make a run for the throne with Roulade sitting there until he got stabbed. And holy smokes. So I don't have Bone Hunters yet, so I can't start that. I still am not sure if I'm going to go straight into Bone Hunters or if I'm going to do, what is it, Night of Knives or whatever. I don't know. I'm willing to take your feedback or suggestions, but I'm not sure yet. I'm not going to look at the back of Bone Hunters when I start. I'm just going to start it. Look at the Dramatis Personae. If you would like to have some kind of live stream to just talk, I would be happy to do that. That would be fun too. We're midway through the series. Holy smokes. I need to come up with some kind of laughing and lion mug that will put up on, not to make any money off of it, but I'll make some kind of laughing and lion mug, do the cheapest. I'll put the slider all the way to the left so we can all have it. And then when I'm done, the crippled god or whatever, I'll take it off, and then that'd be maybe fun for us to have, because this has been super fun. Super fun. Now, I don't know. Now we have Roulade. And I've been waiting. Everyone was wrong. There were these wrong predictions about who this empire was going to be. And now we have Roulade sitting there. They thought it was going to be a Lothari guy or whatever. All these things are kind of thawing and coming out of the ice. Holy smokes. So, eventually, Roulade and Karsa have to fight. At some point. And so Roulade and Karsa are both in the crippled gods kind of realm or hold or whatever. Karsa's got to fight that guy. Perrin, his role is less of a fighter and more of he kind of has this role that is parallel to what the Errant had. Something like that. In the same sort of way. Kind of echoes. Right? Something like that. Not the same, but sort of. I need to get a board or some kind of page and start writing down people who I think are getting slotted into these different jobs. And I imagine we're going to get some people who are dead, obviously, because we have what's his face from the Guardian Talon for Felicen. He's the Knight of Death. I imagine we're going to have Bryce. What is male? The Elder Gods have their own kind of hold or something. I'm sure it's in the back in the glossary. I'm sure Bryce will be back. I'm sure Ikovian's not done. He's going to have one of these jobs. Bridge burners are probably going to fill full job or, a full hold or something. The obelisk. The obelisk stands out because there was a lot made about the obelisk that don't I still don't quite understand the obelisk. I like uh this was so cool. This was so cool. I still am fascinated with, if you've been listening to other ones, I'm fascinated with water, as that relates to chaos because of how that's been used in our mythologies and stuff, in our histories. Uh, Interesting that some of the people, they would kind of worship their sacred grounds would be at the border between water and ground because that is where the unknown begins. I think that's awesome. Who else? Yeah, Ikovian's got to be back. He's probably already stirring in his barrel. Um, are we going to get to the bridge burners finally? The aerosol. I'm still thinking of them too. Trull got raped by this aerosol. So I'm so confused about them. I have to go back. I know there's that site, like Malazan Search or whatever. Search of the Fallen. I've only done it one time. I've only gone there and checked a couple things to see what it is. I think I need to go and see the aerosol up to the point where we're at. Because them and the Forkrel, there are things I want to know, obviously. And I'm just confused about Trull's going to have a kid, which is going to be part aerosol or something. I don't understand why these aerosol just kind of showed up in House of Chains and then bounced. And that's still not, that's after Midnight Tides though. So I'm going to spend the next couple days kind of getting my mind in order. Maybe checking some of these terms on that Search of the Fallen up to where we're at. Maybe looking at some epilogues. But we're halfway. Which is awesome. And I am so excited to get into the Bone Hunters. What about the guy, the Bone Connector guy? I still don't know who he is. There are a lot of things. There are a lot of exciting things. Okay. Well, I think that's everything. And it's going to be, now it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, but I'm still going to be kicking myself over that bug thing. I think I should have got that earlier than I did. Even though I was on to him, I knew there was something interesting about him and special about him, more than just being funny. It was just that he was so competent. Man, this was a good one. My gut reaction, ranking them from the bottom to the top, would be Gardens at the bottom. Even though I loved Gardens. I thought Gardens was actually very exciting and fun. There were moments in Gardens that I would put up with any of the moments in some of these other books as well. There are moments in Gardens that were my favorite moments in the series so far. But Gardens at the bottom. And then probably Dead House. Even though Dead House is what started to really, it sold me. And then the last three, I think Midnight Tides might be my third. and then probably House of Chains fourth, and then Memories of Ice. I don't know. House of Chains might be my favorite one so far, but I did love moments in Midnight Tides. There were just some things with Midnight Tides where, even though I loved the Lethery or the Lethery, probably Lethery. Have I been saying Lethery? It's probably Lethery. Um, now that we're done the book, good time to figure that out. Uh, in some ways, Midnight Tides was my favorite, but there were some things where it was like, okay, I, I don't know. I don't know. I was just, I thought we were going to get something. I was looking forward to getting towards something in Midnight Tides that is not coming yet. And I thought it was going to be this. So in that way, it was a little bit of a letdown by the end that I didn't get that thing I was trying to get to. But I still did love the ending. It just didn't get to what I thought it was going to get to. Anyway, don't want to ramble. But I've loved this series so far. And this fifth book, more than any of them, was probably the strongest kind of on its own. Even though I love Memories of Ice, I loved it so much because it was super strong, but I loved it from what I knew from before as well. And House of Chains, I loved House of Chains because it was building on what we had as well. Now, same thing with with Midnight Tides, but really on its own, Midnight Tides was probably the most fun of the books. It wasn't just as heavy. And I love the themes and stuff, but I found myself able to just kind of breeze through it. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Tomorrow I could wake up and it would be my favorite of the five. But I think right now I would do that. I would do Gardens, Dead House, probably Midnight Tides, because even though there are some characters I loved, I didn't love all the characters. There are just more characters from House of Chains and Memories of Ice that I just love more. Or I love more of them, or more of the kind of themes that were going on and all the kind of context and stuff. And it was just more varied. But awesome. Looking forward to the next ones. And I will do a live stream if you would like, and maybe some predictions and things like that. But really, 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 really enjoyed this. And if you haven't come to the Discord, come do that. I will open up, or I'll rename maybe the Midnight Tides Discord. I'll rename Bone Hunters now or something like that. And maybe on the live, I'll go to the Laughin' and Lion page. One time I did open it up, and I kind of squinted, and I just scrolled to see if stuff was happening there, but I haven't been able to go and read it, and I'm looking forward to that. So I'll see you on the next one.